Hello, it's Szymon from Noesis Vision. In this very first video, I would like to show you how automated extraction of the architecture knowledge directly from your source code can help you and your team. Let's say that we want to modify a software system like this e-commerce .NET-based open source platform called GrantNode 2. Let's say that we want to change the behavior of the order items, that the customers can add the order items even after they have already placed the order. Let's check the system capabilities. We can just browse the system UI to find out what are the capabilities, but this doesn't give us any clue about the architecture, right? We can then check for the definitions of the API. Browse some documentation. We can maybe read some documentation or find some documentation diagrams if they exist. But to be sure that we get fully up-to-date knowledge about the architecture, we have to go to the source code. Source code is our source of truth. So, as an architect, what's most interesting for me? The patterns which are inside, not the code itself, right? So, which services are used, which entities are used, which repositories, how many deployment units I have in the architecture, how do they integrate, which kind of events, commands I'm sending around. So is it even possible to extract all of this out of the source code? Yes, of course, this knowledge is there. It's enough to know what are the architecture conventions used inside this repository. This kind of knowledge, if service has some service annotation, if a repository also has some specific annotations, if the entities inherit from a certain base interface, all this kind of knowledge, pretty standard to be honest, can be used to identify the patterns and the links between them. This is exactly how Noesis Vision scanner works. It takes a set of typical patterns plus ability to tune them to your repo, takes your source code, scans it using static code analysis, creates a graph according to the ontology which we designed for the software architecture, and allows you to interact with this knowledge. First of all, it allows you to visualize it. It allows you to use it to structure your documentation delivered with your software, and it allows you to use this knowledge for more meaningful conversations with your AI agents. Let me show you this in action. We have scanned already the GrantNode 2 repository and detected all the entry points to the application. Here is the list. Entry points are, for example, the endpoints which you seen in the Swagger repository, but also some kind of handlers for events and all sorts of these things. And you can find the comprehensive list of all the application entry points listed in one place. You can browse this list, and if you're interested, for example, in order items, you can find them on the list and visualize all the internal backend structure which is behind this endpoint. This insert order item entry point uses certain set of services. Yes, the services use some entities. Entities are managed by repositories or familiar patterns for any architect. And as we see, this repository uses classical architecture of entity and services. And what if we would like to see which functionalities are used in common between multiple endpoints? It's also possible, right? Using the built-in filtering mechanism of Noesis Vision, I can adjust which kind of patterns are visualized. Now I disabled entities and comments and create a nice visualization of the layered architecture, and I see which kind of services are used by different kinds of entry points, right? All visualized in automated way. And you may wonder how it behaves for a more complex entry point. Yes, the ability to filter by the types of patterns allows us, for example, to visualize all the services used by the quite significant entry point for any e-commerce application, which is a placing order. Here how it looks, how many services are involved, you can browse through them, etc. And a sneak peek of Noesis capabilities, we provide you with the descriptions of all the graph elements, which allow you to dig even deeper. In the future videos, I will show how we do that. I will show you how to use our Noesis capabilities, and I also show more details about our model of the architecture which we use, about our ontology. So please, if you are interested in this kind of direction, if you are interested in enhancing the knowledge of agents with the deterministic details about your architecture, and please join our Discord. Please subscribe to our newsletter on our page, and at best, please join our closed beta and scan your repository, see what you can bring and how it can help your team understand your systems better. See you in the future videos. Cheers, bye.